Hello everyone, this is Abdulkas from the Midas Club, and today I'm going to show you how to convert decimal fractions to base 10. So let's say you have a number like 1011.110 base 2 and you are told to convert this to base 10. Now the next thing you need to do is the expansion method, which means you have to do first 1 times the base plus 0 times the base plus 1 times the base plus 1 times the base. Then you rank them, of course, 0, 1, 2, 3. All right, because it's the base raised to power those ranks. Now, remember that that's the number that we have before the decimal point. So now after the decimal point, we have 110. Okay, so we're going to still expand it by saying 1 times the base plus 1 times the base plus 0 times the base. But this time around, we're going to rank from -1, -2, -3. That's the way it is. The numbers after the decimal point, you start to rank them from -1, -2, -3 continuously, depending on how much number you have after the decimal point. While the number before the decimal point, what you have is you put it 0, 1, 2, 3, okay, you count it towards the left. So that's the principle that you should have in mind when it comes to dealing with decimal fractions. So now you've already expanded it. The next thing to do is just to simplify, and you've gotten your answer. So let's simplify. Now we have 1 times 2 raised to power 3. 2 raised to power 3 means 2 times 2 times 2. It means 2 into 3 places. So 2 times 2 times 2 is going to give you 8. 8 times 1 is 8, so we have 8 there, plus 2 raised to power 2 is 4, but 4 times 0 is 0, so plus 0. Then plus 2 raised to power 1 is going to give you 2 times 1. 2 times 1 is 2. Plus 2 raised to power 0 is 1. Anything raised to power 0 is 1. So 1 times 1 is going to give you 1. Now that's the end of the first numbers before the decimal point. So the next is 1 times 2 raised to the power of -1. Whenever you see any number raised to the power of minus something, think about it as 1 over the number raised to the power of that thing without the minus. So when you see any number raised to the power of minus something, just put 1 on top and just put over the number and then cancel that minus. So when you see 2 raised to the power of -1 is the same thing as 1 over 2 raised to the power of 1. So 2 raised to the power of 1 is 2. 1 over 2 is half, because 1 over 2 means half, which is 0.5. So what we have there is 0.5, because 0.5 times 1 is going to give you 0.5. Anything times 1 is itself. All right? So it's going to give us 0.5. Then plus 2 raised to the power of -2 times 1. Now remember, 2 raised to the power of -2 is the same thing as 1 over 2 raised to the power of 2. And 2 raised to the power of 2 is 4. 1 over 4, if you use your calculator, is going to give you 0.25. So you have 0.25 times 1, which is going to give you 0.25. Anything times 1 is itself. All right. Then the next you have is 0 times 2 raised to the power of -3. Now you don't even need to start doing all of those calculations of 2 raised to the power of -3, because at the end of the day it's going to times 0. So what's the point of calculating it? You just put your 0, because 2 raised to the power of -3 is the same thing as 1 over 2 raised to the power of 3. And 1 over 2 raised to the power of 3, 2 raised to the power of 3 is 8. 1 over 8 is, so there's no point, because everything is going to times 0, and at the end of the day your answer is 0. So what we have there is 0. So now let's do all of the calculation now. 8 plus 0 plus 2, which is 10, plus 1, which is 11. So we now have 0.5 plus 0.25, which is going to give you 0.75 when you calculate it to your calculator. Now 0.75, we have 11 and 0.75, so it's going to give us 11.75. Base 10 this time around. So that's how you do it. And the most important thing that I want you to get from this is the principle, because at the end of the day, if you expand, it's the same thing, but if you forget the principle of the decimal point and how you rank after the decimal point, that's where you can make certain mistakes, or you forget some of this principle of something raised to the power of the negative, and you need to put 1 over the thing raised to the power of the positive, something like that. These are just the laws you should have in mind, and that's all. Anytime you see questions like this, it becomes easy for you to do because you know all of the laws. You do your calculation carefully, because if you make mistake with one number, you can't get the same answer. That's the thing about mathematics. So you have to do it thoroughly and go back and check again. Go back and check again to make sure that you have done everything accordingly and you're going to get the answer. So that's basically it. If you understand the principle, now it doesn't matter the number. It can be 1, whatever, or to anything, as long as you understand the principle. It's the principle that counts. So when you see the questions, it's not about the question, it's about you knowing the principles, and you just carry the questions. They become your data, and you just apply the principle to that data, and you are getting your answer. Thank you very much for watching. I want you to solve this question that is on the screen and put your answer in the comment section. Bye for now.